to give you a presentation and share our thoughts on World Student Football Union. First of all, for international delegations, we will offer a lunch at the place where there was a coffee break, and at 4 p.m. on the first floor near the entrance to the hotel, there will be a bus waiting for you for going sightseeing. Where you also can watch a game live. And at 8, I ask you to be at the stadium. We will have a ceremony, opening ceremony of the friendship match. Half of the delegates, those of you who play, should be at 7:30 at the cloakrooms, and you will be able to personally to participate in the friendship match. At 8 there is an opening ceremony, and of course at 8:30 the match will start. And there are coaches and administrators on behalf of International Student Football Union. There will be Andrei Kachiskis. Yeah, it will be a very interesting match, and almost 400 players will vote for will be your fans. So I ask you to follow our timetable. There is an interesting surprise, and I hope you will enjoy it. At 8, please be at the stadium to see it with your eyes. And that is why I want to represent you a project prepared by the International Student Football Union and Croatian World Student Football Union. Before my presentation, I think that our idea for many years how to renew students' football, how to do so that in each country there would be a serious league. We have been thinking about it for a long period of time. You saw today history of the international union, and we are trying to find that model that could launch development of student football all over the world, so that we could compete not only between champions of these championships, and to create a students team of these countries out of students who participate in these championships. And the perspective to hold the first in the world champion of the planet, champion of the world. I think that I want you to understand there are teams out of students who don't really participate in the students' championships. They're just students. And when a team and they don't very often they don't have relation to the student sport. We want to create an absolutely new form of student sports where participants would be those players who really play in the students' tournaments. And based on this, we have developed a particular model that, in our opinion, in the perspective can become the main driver of launching of such tournaments in other countries. We present International Student Football Union that should consist of 16 teams. Those teams which are ready with us to show the whole world a new format of students football. Practically, we start from scratch. 4 years ago, we offered Russian universities to show the whole country what new vision of students football is. And almost an hour ago, we showed you and shared with you our success. Today, we want you to, to offer your universities, your countries together with us to show the universities of the world, to show them new format, to show them friendly relationships between our universities. In our union, everybody has equal conditions. And pay your attention that the union has its own influence. The tournament is managed, all 16 teams come at the cost of the National Student Football Union, and the same in the World Student Football Union. Each union holds his domestic tournament, but the union organizes the general tournament. It's not some only one person's aspiration. This is we owe this success all 16 universities who spent money on tournaments, and our and we find also information opportunities for international for large broadcasting, and this is a general activity of everybody. It's not only when somebody pays and somebody does nothing. So the model requires efforts from everybody. When we find all 16 partners and we spread and distribute the load, we get success. So let me start the presentation, and I would like in details to explain what we mean under this presentation. As I have already said, today the International Students Football Union sets tasks to promote students' football competitions on a new level, on a more professional approach to what we see today. So this new opportunity and direction, we interact with international organizations as for our project. And to change the vision of the International Students Championship. And we offer it among universities which want to play throughout the season, who want to play according to the rules, where the students union not only broadcasts, but it also monitors what students play for that or the other university. Are there any tries to strengthen the teams with the professional players, and we have some arrangements with FIFA who are ready to help us. And if there are no, if teams, for example, if they play fairly enough, so the main task of the International Football Students League, everybody should follow equal conditions. They should bear not only equal financial burden, but also they should follow the rules. International Football Union, its task is to unite students' unions which have seasonal students' competitions. It's an important feature. So you can enter this union as an organization, and based on this, National Students Football Union and Ukrainian Association of Students, they founded this organization. People who contributed in the development not only the world football, they can enter the international union as physical persons. I want to say that today, as physical unions, we have in several people who, in our opinion, contributed a lot into development of world football. These are Oleg Pervushkin, это Vitas Chiskauskas, and me. So, what is the International Football International Students Union? Nowadays, it is a structure, so to say, department of International Students Football Union. As soon as we find these 16 universities which will show their desire, show the whole world, and also to support wide broadcasting, this union will be registered as an independent organization, and founders of this league will be these universities, and this league will be included into the international students football team. Documents partly are prepared. So nowadays, this is the structure of international football structure, which created the structure for the development of the world students football. Why is this world students league is required? If we imagine any country, and for example, one of your universities decided to play for this league, according to our plans, these tournaments will be broadcast all over the world. I will represent you. I will introduce you our informational partners who are ready to broadcast our events. After this university will be accepted as one of the participants, other your universities of your countries will ask you why you selected this university and not other university. And these questions, it's not a theoretical part, it's a practical part, which we have already done in Russia. And then International Union will answer. As soon as there will be regular championships in your country, there will be a champion on your behalf. And this is the main stimulus for you, so that to attract attention to your problems and organize in your country such a serious seasonal tournament. So these are a couple of words. So championship of the International Football League, this is a system of tournament which I have already shared with you, who have where the format of the National League, and you know that our country is huge, and we have no doubts if this format is valid for Russia, it is also valid for all over the world. There are no analogs in the world. In each world, there are championships of the continents, but in the world, there are competitions where all teams can participate in the seasonal championship throughout the year. I will try to repeat. The World Students Football League is a system of tournaments that has the common score. There are 16 tournaments in each country, and as a result of which the results are written in the one table, and we select at the end of the year an absolute champion of the world. Each team is going to play with the other team once. If now we consider the World Cup, which will be held in Russia, its format is not going to let you know who is an absolute champion is, because the teams are divided according to the groups, and any coincidence they are not in the next part. So we every 4 years don't have an absolute champion. Absolute champion is a champion who has played with each team, and in the general score has become an absolute champion. These are the main criteria of the competitions. The aim. As I have already told you, it's an opportunity to select an absolute champion. There are different versions, and there is one version that is ours. And of course, one of the aims is to define the best team for participation in other competitions. Because FIFA and FISULA, they plan as a world championship between the universities that in China there will be also such championship. There is a selection process. At first, 4 champions of Europe, they have an opportunity to go to this championship. I don't know how it works on other continents, but if we create the World International Students Football League, I'm sure we will have enough opportunities to organize such tournaments and to represent the interests of our league. We as the champions, we can play at the European Championships. So this question can be discussed and agreement can be reached, because level of our competition and the format of our competition, it requires a very high level of organization and quality of the football. And our pride is that last year, State University of Kuban has become the champion of Europe in the composition that it plays for National Student League. It played better than other people. Of course, we don't have control and who is playing there, whether it is a professional or not, but it has become an absolute champion. After a very strict selection, they went and they won. It proves that the level of the national students football union is getting better and better each year, and it goes without saying that the level of the world students football league will be even better, because within a year people have an opportunity to train and to play, and the most important that the students really enjoy it. It's one of the most important because it is increasing of image of your universities on the market of educational services. Due to the means of the sports, mass media, and due to universities and due to your efforts and other universities, because when universities play in the world students football league, they represent not only universities, they represent not only your town, but they also represent the whole country. And the level of such university is increasing, and the diploma of this university is becomes more on demand when people want to employ, for example, a graduate of Kuban State University, and he gets a question, oh, you've been the champion. People know this team, they know this university, and of course, taking into account this attention, its creation of the model of the students football club, which we created in Krasnodar, and that is an example where a single uh, penny is not paid by the university. There is a budget, there is an organization that is called football club, and due to the fact that they have been working for a long period of time, they have reliable partners, and this year they have signed a 3-year contract to participate in the European Championship. Because in one University of Kuban, there are 29,000 students. And attention of these 29,000 of people are concentrated on this team. Of course, this audience is renewed every year 20%, and any commercial structure is interested. Of course, expenses of students football club are lower than expenses of a professional football club. That's what we are aiming at. Next slide, please. Let me tell you about the format that I'm going to share with you. I was telling you about it in the first part of the presentation. Shall I speak more slowly or is it fine? Okay. The sense is that these are 16 tournaments. All of them are in the same conditions, and the 17th tournament is the common tournament that is conducted by that conducts this tournament. So every university has 15 matches, participates in 15 tournaments. One tournament is held by them, and the rest of the tournaments they visit as guests. So totally, they play five tournaments, 15 matches, and everybody plays with everybody. We have already discussed with this format. This format for 4 seasons since 2014. We have worked a lot. So tomorrow we will have a round table where you will be able to take the floor. We will introduce you as the head of delegation on behalf of your country, and you will be able to ask different questions based on today's theory part of our event. Tomorrow, I will answer your questions, not in theory, but in practice, that within 4 years we have experienced ourselves. This is very important, and that is why we didn't represent our project last year, or 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It is very important at first to do something yourself and then to answer questions. Thank you. Next slide. Here we introduce development of the World Students Football League, how it should be developed from year to year. Um, uh, for the first year, we had 8 teams, then we got 16 teams, and then 29. And nowadays, we have perspective to create a project that would include up to 80 teams. It's about it includes 50 teams with segmentation on different zones. We call these groups zone groups. And of course, everywhere sports principle will be applicable. Now we found the World Students Football League for 2018-2019 out of 16 teams, and we will demonstrate practical advantage of participation in such tournament. Next year, we expect more universities to join us, and these universities will be from different continents. So for the season 2019-2020, the World League of 16 teams will continue, and also there will be intercontinental groups, which according to the sports principle will be able to substitute each other. In a year 2020-2021, we expect more 16 teams to join us that will make 4 continental leagues, and these leagues, according to the sports principle, annually will contribute to the World Students Football League. Here the development stops, not to lose quality. 80 teams that will be in this format. They will continue their games. And on the bottom of the slide, you see large championships. There will be not only winners of the national championships, but there will be also champions from the continental games. So within 5 years, World Students League will stimulate foundation of students championships only according to these conditions. According to the sports principle, it will be possible to join continental league or to join international students football league. I think in the near future it will unite the strongest teams, the most best organized teams. Now we would like to discuss benefits of participation in the World Students Football League. I have already told you that success of the National Students Football League, it's not our success. This is hard work of all participants of this league, starting from the head of the league, rectors of universities, heads of the teams, and footballers, of course. So we think that it would be more correct to call it investment university. Every university that participates, it contributes to general success of everybody, and we consider it right if each university the International Student Football League will sign an investment contract on the basis of which each university will have a right to spend money that they will get on behalf of investors and sponsors, taking into account large broadcasting. And those universities which are going to participate this year, we offer them to sign such contracts. So each university, as I have already said, it gets wide mass media broadcasting. It improves its image in the world market of the educational services, opportunity of partnership programs with other universities of the world. And we have already told you about our experience with China, for example. And let me repeat, but it's very important that it is possible to found in your university, in your town, in your country, the World Football Club, Students Club with fans and serious professional approach. And here I should mention only this season, the National Football League some people have become professional football clubs. Four sportsmen from our students' league they entered and joined professional clubs. And uh, it- the Smolensk State University, due to students' league, they gave to Ahmad Club their goalkeeper. It is our pride. The goalkeeper, another goalkeeper joined another team, professional club in Makhachkala. And there are many examples like this. And each year, league is not only promotes its efforts, but it's also a good supply of staff for our football clubs. Why? Because within a season, future employers have an opportunity to see the footballers in the game, and they know who they are buying. They buy a real product, and due to our live broadcasting, live streams, they follow their footballers, and if they like them, they bought them. It's a very important moment. Continuing topic of investment contracts, we are ready today, together with the university, to sign investment contract for lifelong. They can get 2% from general money, partner money, sponsors money, and other investments. This money will be spent for development of the league, and the university will be able to cover the expenses. If the team joins us in next year or the year in the next, we are ready to sign also a contract. So the league gives 48%, half of the money, to our investors, and another money is paid for development of programs for development of students' championships, for live broadcasting and so on. The next slide. These are conditions at participation in the competition. In order to participate in our competition, you need to send in the to the email of the International Football Students Union that you're ready to participate. After you get a letter, at first head of the our league together come to you. We see your country, uh, see what conditions you can provide to host our sportsmen, but we meet the heads of we meet the heads of we meet authorities and we discuss coordination of support. And we start a long procedure. When we when we founded International Football Students League, um, it was the same. When we selected the universities who want to play with us, we decided to organize ourselves in Moscow region for 2 days in order to um, write down all the requirements because our league is absolutely democratic. And with our hands, we decided to create the requirements that would follow everybody. And guess how much time we spent there? Not 2 days, a week. We spent 7 days to work out the format that would suit everybody. And it's good when all 16 universities they find in these requirements what they consider right. You must participate actively. How we need to discuss all the rules, like how many minutes we are going to play, what kind of substitutions is possible, and your representatives participate in these discussions, and then we have requirements that would suit everybody. As I have already said, every university um, pays organizational contribution. We pay commentators, broadcasters, and so on. Each university bears financial burden that consists out of 4 teams. So accordingly, you at your cost conduct one tournament, uh, uh, 3 days, receive 21 person of each delegation. So you have also to rent a pitch if you don't have your own, maybe excursions and other accompany. So when you visit each other, the universities will also provide, if you visit the other university, it will also provide all the support for you. So accordingly, this is called contribution when everybody is in equal conditions. So it's a very good and quality product. Competition calendar we have already discussed, and we offer for the World Students Football League that the World Football League, Students Football League, would show the example of organization. So we have an opportunity to conduct the first tournament in Luzhniki in Moscow. It's where the final of FIFA World Cup will be held. In September, we can gather all 16 teams of Moscow and conduct first 3 matches in Luzhniki. Then for 2018 we planned 6 tournaments. In 2019, 10 tournaments. So at the end of the year we will get the first absolute champion of the World Students Football League. And everybody will play with another team once. An important partner of our National Students Football League, and I think it's going to be a partner of the World Students Football League. It's a company in Start that holds detailed statistics. It's very easy to understand due to this company where and how plays this or that footballer. And we see in what professional clubs this footballer plays. And all footballers are included here. And there is a small probability that somebody will break the rules. Very small. So if we define that we don't have professionals in our requirements, but then these professional plays, so the company in start will include him as a professional. So this is a system of control, and the league undertakes responsibility to control all the teams, so that all the teams show respect to each other and would follow the requirements. I have already told you about serious informational support. Nowadays, we have 50,000 universities in our database. Daily, we collect a huge database all over the world. We invite you to join as well. Our foreign students from official sources, they collect universities, the name of university, all addresses, emails of rectors, heads, deans of faculties of physical sport. We are very interested in football, so we include only those who are in charge of universities and who are connected with the football. So according to our data in the world, there are about 200,000 universities now. We have 15,000 universities, and reports on each tournament in analog with what we did in Russia. Each university will get a report that in the world there is international football league. We provide information support, and we invite representatives of international organizations so that they would broadcast this information for everybody who is interested in sport. As I have already said, the league has very good information support, and we demonstrate it. You see, each match is going to be screened. Now we are in Smolensk, computer graphic. It's a system of repetitions. These are commentators at the language of your country. We have a technology to comment on a match on 10 languages. If in this tournament there are 4 teams in different languages and their competitors want to watch from their countries. They send application, and up to 10 commentators can comment on a match. And also, we create a website where each university can hold this website, so that everybody would have an approach in his language, in his native language, and other language. It's a very important system of communication, which we are in the near future ready to represent. Moreover, as I have already said, after each match, we have interviews translated into different languages. We make short videos and other informational support that make competition interesting and attract a lot of people. So we introduce you our international media partners who are ready to cooperate with the World Students Football League. These are famous mass media. And this is the beginning, because these magazines, they show their interest. They are ready to relocate information on their websites. I would like to show you the person who is responsible for communication with the world mass media. It's Konstantin. He's already here. He has spent a lot of time in France. So Konstantin Petrovich has been the main editor of the largest Russian magazine, Soviet Sports Express. He is an absolute professional in the sphere of broadcasting of sports mass media. And today he provides for us serious broadcasting in the world mass media. As I have already said, today the World Students Football League, after the World Championship at the stadium, to conduct our competitions as heritage of the World Cup in Russia, as a union, as a symbol of peace and harmony between all countries in terms of student sports. And FIFA always tells about it. It is important that somebody lives a race. One of the largest races, FIFA World Cup, can leave the launch of the international students football. And we did our best to be on time to organize football league, to unite the events, new page of the students league. This is kind of advertising slide. That's where we are, and we invited you so that you with your own eyes saw what the National Students Football League is, what their tournaments are, what their competitions are, who does it, would meet us, so that altogether we could strengthen the experience we got due to you. Today is a day of theory. For the first time we met each other. I offer tomorrow at 9 a.m. to get together in the other venue at the round table where all of you tomorrow we are not going to speak about it. We have already told you everything today. I have a lot of information to share. I understand that all of you are tired and you need to rest. I suggest to finish theory. Now let's have a lunch, go on excursion, go to the game, then play football, make friends, and tomorrow from 9 a.m. we will introduce each other, and each of you could share experience, and we will sit till everybody holds presentation. And now, finishing theory, I would like to thank you for your attention. I look at you, and it is my pleasure to see your interested eyes. I'm happy that for many years we have found in the world interested eyes as we have. As all our colleagues, and we will reach success. I would like to thank and give the floor to the president. Dear colleagues, to cut a long story short, Andrei Nikolaevich introduced a project of creation of the World Students' League. In details, he characterized operational activity, and our colleagues may have questions. Nevertheless, I would like to tell you we wait from you, from the people who are interested, from colleagues, and offer opinion to the project that was presented to your attention. And all together, we will find the final format, which will be a foundation for creation the World Students' League. The fact that we need to create it, nobody has even doubts. We are obliged to create for our young people, for our students, conditions, motivation, so that they go in for sport and show their skills and friendship on sports stadiums. There where international matches will take place in the future. Thanks again for your attention. The further program was announced, and tomorrow we are looking forward to your offers. Tomorrow I hope there will be a very constructive discussion what we have heard today, and indeed tomorrow we will get closer to the World Students Football League.